Welcome to the What's Up Already podcast, where we fashion ourselves cinematic judge and jury. My name is JJ Crowder. I'm here with my co-hosts Matt Sinheiner,
better read than dead,
and Alec Burgess.
Let's get it.
We appreciate you tuning in. Go ahead, hit that follow, subscribe, like, bell notification buttons. Hit all of them. Tell a friend about us. Tell a family member about us. Tell puppy lovers about us. I don't know. Either side of that term could be used. Actual lovers of puppies or young loves, I guess. I don't know. We'll take either. Also go check us out on Patreon. That's where the magic happens, besides just looking at our ugly mugs on YouTube or listening to our weird ass voices that were never meant for radio or podcast. But you should check us out anyway. We do some weird shit over there. With that, we're into a new month. It's the month of October. We let Alec off the hook a little bit because it's not Halloween.
Yes,
scary
you
stuff.
did.
I started thinking about that. Yeah, I was like, we fucked up, but that's okay. I kind of got him in the last movie. If he hasn't watched it already, have you watched Last Minute?
No.
Yeah, but it's not that bad. But it could have been way worse, especially with like shit like weapons out right now. Yeah, we fucked up, but we also might have gotten Mattson divorced too. We'd have done some of that shit. So, anyway, October, we're doing John Cusack. October again, no alliteration. I'm sad, but that's okay.
We were spoiled and we didn't appreciate.
Yeah, I know, right? The first month, it'll never be as good. But we're kicking it off with the classic. Say Anything. It was released April 14th, 1989. It was written by and directed by Cameron Crowe. It stars John Cusack, Ione Skye, John Mahoney, Lily Taylor, Amy Brooks, Pamela Adlon, Jason Gould, Lauren Dean, Polly Platt, Jeremy Piven, and Glenn Walker Harris Jr. It is about a noble underachiever and a beautiful valedictorian fall in love in the summer before she goes off to college. That's a weak sauce synopsis, but sure. I guess it captures the big story beats. Alec, this was your pick. Why'd you pick this one, man?
This movie gets far too much credit. As it is. It is not anywhere near a good movie, let alone in like any conversation for being the best movie ever. But there's one fucking scene in it. Everybody knows the scene, and it's given it like cult status or just classic status, and it gives the movie a free pass. I hate this movie.
Really?
With a passion.
Really?
It gets way too much credit. It is not. It's not good. So of course I put it in the podcast.
Fair. I was like, that's as a resident man of the people. Just so you know, if there's a movie I don't like, we're probably not going to watch it. I'll save you all the pain. So, as we know, Alex, a little twisted. Makes sense.
Twisted.
Interesting. So, I'm like 1 against 2 on this one. Is that what I'm hearing?
I think Matt.
I'm definitely not strongly as opinion as Alec. Like, do I prefer another movie we're going to review over this as a better version of this movie, being Better Off Dead? That it feels a lot like it, but that movie just did it better, and probably. But I'd never seen Say Anything until I've seen it. I remember I've seen on TV that iconic scene we'll talk about. But for a second, I was like, wait, is this a movie that I know I've seen, being Better Off Dead? And I was like, no, it's not. But it has like shades of randomness and weirdness that fit. You could have just taken some of the scenes in this movie and put in Better Off Dead. I'm like, all right, well, probably fit. I didn't mind it. I didn't like love it, but it was entertaining at more than a few spots. And I've seen way worse things in this movie. Just a kind of it's an odd movie.
It is a very odd movie. And I won't say that I completely 100% disagree with Alec in that it doesn't deserve the status that it garners, right? And I think there's a couple things for that. One, John Cusack, when he was this young, was like up and coming until he did a couple of movies later that kind of made his career fucking really weird. One of which has already been mentioned with Better Off Dead. Like, what a weird ass movie. But anyway, the other piece that I don't, it is all based on one real scene, right? Like, and it's a throwaway scene if you really get into it, because there's nothing, even there's no value add to the movie other than it's cool seeing him hold the fucking boombox, and poor John Cusack struggling to hold that sumbitch up because that was a big ugly bastard, that thing. And as somebody that grew up in this time frame, like every kid my age has tried this shit, and we're like, fuck that thing's heavy. But I do like parts of this movie, like beyond just what makes it famous. Like, I think it's a very weird movie, and there's some really whiplashy parts where you're like, wait, what the fuck am I watching? But what I really like is like the last 30 minutes from the iconic stereo holding scene and after. I really like this movie. I think it's got a very interesting story that they went away from because they were trying to make this more of a happy-ish movie, right? And silly in a lot of places. But like the idea of this goofy kid that's got a rough life on the surface, right? Chasing after this valedictorian that's got this like perfect, pampered life. And the fact that when you look at it look at each life deep into the story, like it's the exact opposite. John Cusack's character's got this really what looks like on the outside a tougher life anyway, right? But at the end of the day, his life's pretty good. He's got a support system. He's got people that care about him, people that want him to succeed and are there for him to support him. And then you've got this girl that's smart and got money and all this, and on the surface looks like her life's great. Turns out her dad's a fucking crook, albeit a white collar criminal, but still like a pretty gnarly criminal too, because he's fucking stealing from old people. Like, it's wild. And so like that juxtaposition of these two different stories, but we don't get into that. Like, you get little hints of it, of that they're investigating her dad, whatever, throughout the movie, but you don't actually get into the meat of that and how it impacts these two human beings and the decisions they make until after they break up and he does this, the in your eyes moment. And I'm like, I would love to have had that been more of a thing throughout it. I didn't even need the dad trying to get him to break up. Like, I think it would have made more sense if they had fought over the fact that they had such wildly different lives versus dad's pressuring me to go to school without a boyfriend. Like, I hate that part of the story, but everything surrounding it, I'm like, I think it's a very interesting study in human nature and how a lot of times opposites attract in love, right? Especially like social status, things like that. Like, you see a lot of that shit in high school and young love, if you will, to coin a cheesy phrase, but and then this just ugliness that's hiding in their lives, or what seemingly wasn't a great life, but they have a lot of what you could ask for from like an emotional or support, specific realm. Anyway, I just think it's very interesting, but it's not accomplished. And you like, I have no idea what the fuck I'm watching until that moment when you're like, oh wait, there's some serious shit going on.
Let's just stop you. Like, my mind never even got that serious because this movie didn't help me get to that point because it was just weird through a lot of it. What I'm really wanting to know, and I think what America wants to know, is were these parties, that the party that they displayed in this movie, JJ, were you a keymaster at a party once upon a time?
JJ was in a chicken suit.
You know me. I was never a keymaster. I was the dude that was fucking passed out under the coffee table with fucking popcorn on his face. Don't get that shit twisted. Nobody was trusting me with their keys and staying sober all night.
That scene was so funny to me when she shows up. I remember turning the tape. I was like, she clearly hasn't really been to any party because she is dressed out to like she's going to homecoming or something right now. And he's in like was this movie made in the 80s or early 90s?
80s.
80s. Oh,
yeah, he's like his 80s vibes with his trench coat thing.
He's got his John Bender coat on.
Yeah, and which probably fit for the times, but I was like, man, they could be more polar opposite in showing up to this party. And it's just funny to see he was clearly like in with that crowd, and she was quickly like, the hell did I get myself into? Like, I gotta get out of here. And then she's on the phone with her dad, and you're like, girl, this is weird. And that whole scene just made me chuckle because there was just such random bits, and I was like, that was indicative of this whole movie. There was just a lot of weird things that they put in front of you, and most of the time I was here for it. I was like, all right, this is not making a whole ton of sense. There's a narrative underneath it that these two people are going to end up together, but in what world does this actually happen? Probably never in reality, but I was entertained, and I sure loved that party scene. There's multiple things that made me laugh. Like the guy at the end, I was so drunk, he was like hyper.
It's Jeremy Piven, dude. Love Jeremy. You can't have a John Cusack film without Jeremy Piven.
That guy made me laugh. But like this movie as well, like John Cusack, he looked like, he kind of looked like he was in high school in this movie. He might have been close enough in age, but shoot, dude, he was not a good looking dude at that point. Not that he ever really got to be one, but he had like no chin, like completely baby face, pasty white. I was like, bro, ain't no way she's showing up with you, because you like fade away into the background because you look like a ghost.
Jesus. This guy, so judgmental.
I could say it. I'm pasty white myself. We game recognized game.
There you go. It's so funny. So funny. Yeah, listen. No, go ahead, Alec.
I was going to say, so most of my hate stems from this one stupid scene, because it's a scene that my wife is obsessed with and mad because I won't entertain it at all, right? Like, that's how she wanted me to propose and stuff like that. Oh, and I kind of told her, get fucked. And so she claims that she loves this movie because of that scene, right? We're watching it because I couldn't watch it without her, obviously.
Sure.
And she points out something that I never noticed before, but now that I did notice it, it is never going to leave my brain, is where the fuck is he doing this? Because she lives in the suburbs, right? We see street with houses on it. And this motherfucker's in a goddamn park with picnic tables and a dirt road. So where in the world is this? What kind of speakers this sound system got that it's going a fucking quarter mile to where she's living?
Oh, God.
And so she pointed that out, and now it's permanently etched in my brain to go with a terrible scene that I hate. Also, just does not make sense. Logistically speaking, there's no way.
You're just underestimating the fact that Seattle has parks everywhere. No, I'm telling you. Did you know this is a fact? And Matson, you may or may not know this about the state that you now live in, but Seattle itself, one of the guys that founded it or was part of it, I don't remember if it was later on, but there was somebody that made a law that said there has to be a park within a certain amount of mileage of every home in Seattle. Seriously, no shit. Like,
what's Seattle's park rule?
I'm telling you, you wait. and so the fact that this and listen, this is a Cameron Crowe thing. He loves Seattle, so a lot of his shit takes place in Seattle, and pretty sure that's where this is in Washington. But yeah, I don't remember the distance, but I'm pretty sure it has to be like walking distance or something like that. Within a certain mileage, there has to be.
There's not a single law, but it's a goal.
Oh, is that what it's a goal? They do pretty fucking good at it, from my understanding. Like, there's parks all over the
reason being
place.
is because they need to give people hope in the freaking fall and winter months so they don't lose their minds and blow their brains out. What they need is like a mini sun that shows up and says, you know what? In this special area, it's going to be bright and shiny and dry.
I would assume that your pasty ass would like the fact that it's overcast most of the time, but
No,
I'm just
I
kidding.
like partly cloudy, and I like to see that. I don't want to be a soggy, wet piece of bread half the year.
I'm okay with that.
All right. So what I found, and you guys might have found something different. It's got to be a 10-minute walk.
There it is. That's what. Yeah, that makes sense. 10-minute walk.
Or that's the goal.
Yeah.
Okay, so
It's the
10-minute
Parks
walk.
and Open Space Plan is what you're
There you
referencing
go.
from
There you
2017. So,
Oh.
unfortunately, JJ,
So 1985, a little bit earlier.
Hey, don't
than
fucking
2000.
throw wrenches in my shit, dude. I'm just saying there's a lot of parks in Washington. and
JJ,
so-
let's not get this twisted. In the 80s, you didn't need to wear a seatbelt in the car, and you could smoke in airplanes.
dude, my
But,
favorite
like,
place to be on the freeway in the 80s was in the back shelf that was in the window of my parents' car. Let's not fuck with the bees.
There wasn't
the dead
anything
dude.
good for humanity at that point, which is also probably why we have problems today. But I will say, not smoking on an airplane, I'm here for that because
People were way tougher back then. Look, we used to have this when we had a bunch of people. I had to sit in the middle fucking hump seat in the back with no seatbelt. Trust me. And I'm still here hanging out.
people are tough because they got to lug around a 30-pound boombox just to get a girl's attention.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah, and turn it up so loud that she can hear it from a fucking half mile away.
She could have been across the street.
He just
Or
had,
he
they
could've
had a
been.
park that was in the
Yeah.
center of their neighborhood, dude. Don't make it more complicated than it actually
Classic Alec finding something to hate.
Rich
that
ass
isn't-
neighborhood like that is not going to have a fucking park in the middle of it.
is. Yeah, probably would actually. That's
Yeah, would.
I was gonna say either that or
No,
it might be
they'd
like
have a
Probably
motherfucking
she
golf
probably
course. They
lived
wouldn't
in
have a park.
Bellevue or Redmond, and absolutely they had a park.
in the 80s, golf wasn't as popular as it is today, dude. There wasn't a golf course in every single city. They were rare back
No, it'd
then.
just be with the rich people.
And they certainly didn't build houses around golf courses like they do now. That's just dangerous. I think people that live
I'm
on
just
golf
waiting for
courses are
Alec to
cuckoo for
expound
Cocoa
upon
Puffs.
some golf story conspiracy theory that he's been waiting to burn or something.
Don't have any golf conspiracy stories.
Well, now all you guys are doing is make me want to go golf, but that's neither here nor there when it comes to say anything. But yeah, I don't know. Like, listen, do I think that this movie deserves the like classic status that it gets? Probably not. Like, I don't. There's
No.
not anything innately that stands out to this movie other than the fact that some dumbass in a trench coat and weird 80s tennis shoes with his jeans like strapped to his leg because they had the freaking stretchy shit at the bottom of their jeans. Like, that's such an 80s staple, but like there's not anything as far as, but I don't know. And I think about Cameron Crowe too. Like, I always think about directors and this was his first movie that he ever directed. And now he's come out with some of the best movies. Like, well, I don't want to say that, but they're some very classic movies that are out there. I mean, like the guy did Jerry Maguire. He did what else did he do? He's done a lot of stuff, a lot with Jeremy Piven and a lot with John Cusack, actually. But like, yeah, I mean, it's one of those things where he's a weird dude, so he's got some weird movies that he does. Like, he Almost Famous, Jerry Maguire. There was another one that was a big Vanilla Skye. So he does weird shit. And I guess that's why I think about, because when I first saw this movie, I was really young and all I saw was the goofy shit and just go the fuck away, dude. Pretty sure I was like 12 and it came out on VHS. And it was, but yeah, I mean, it's not like, yeah, it doesn't stand out. But it was a good launching point for Cameron Crowe, I guess. And that's where I get, when I think about the underlying story, like he stopped trying to be cute later on in life. Like, and he just went for the darker, heavier content in, like, when you watch Almost Famous or even Jerry Maguire for that matter, Jerry Maguire does it a little bit better in that there's a lot of funny and there's a lot of goofy, but it never lets go of the challenge and the underlying story. So obviously he grew as a director, but yeah, this movie feels really disjointed in a lot of ways. And I think that's where I get frustrated is like, it's like pure comedy the first 45 minutes. And then the last 30, you're like, the fuck are we doing? Like, got dads going to jail. We got 18 and 19-year-olds going to England together. Like, this shit got wild, like, real quick. So I do get really, it's very whiplashy. I will say that. but it does hold some nostalgia to me. So I'm like, I
like the
it.
scene where at the end of the part when they drive that guy all the way back to his house that like lived, I guess he lived in like core Seattle, but shoot, I was like, did they go to another city or like in Portland? Like, what the hell? This took forever. What was the point of showing that they drove all the way back? I know there was some dialogue, but I was like, why did we do that? Like, who? Like, I don't know.
Yeah,
I think it showed that they clearly hung out for longer than they thought, all that, and they wanted to show that scene in the street where he was celebrating, which is funny, but just some questionable. I mean, this movie was short. Like, don't get me wrong, love that, but I think Jay said it best. That's just what I remember about this movie. There's multiple times I was like, what is actually happening here? Like, what am I watching? But the part about it I liked is like, I enjoyed like most of it. I was just like, yeah, the storytelling, as Jay alluded to, just feels disjointed. And I wasn't sure what I was supposed to be feeling throughout the movie because it flip-flopped a little bit. And I was like, oh, this is getting more serious at the end. But I wasn't feeling serious at all about this movie until like the last 40 or 30 minutes. And now you want me to go from a comedy to like a drama. I'm confused. And I think that's the hardest part about this movie for me.
Yeah, for sure. I'm going to have to add more Cameron Crowe movies to drive you guys crazy.
No, thanks. I'm good. I will say
that's my new go-to for Alec, though. Besides horror, is Cameron Crowe.
I mean, Alec picked this, so like
he did it
for
to
a
be
reason.
Contrary. Yeah. He did it so we wouldn't have like this.
Alec, do you like hammering your own fingernails?
Why would I ever hammer my own fingernails?
Why would you ever pick a movie you didn't like and watch it again? I don't know.
For the beauty of discussion.
Yes.
And
so that
probably
so that the people know, Madsen,
yeah.
that this is not as good as everybody hypes it up to be.
Yeah. That would be like picking a Zack Snyder movie just to prove a point. And I think I just get progressively angrier throughout like the whole watching of it and just like quit this podcast. That's what it would do to me.
So Alex like, so more Zack Snyder.
Okay.
Oh, Alex knows he was a listener turned co-host. He knows that
that's still my favorite episode, by the way.
It's been a long time since I went volatile on a podcast. In fact, it's probably been, I can't even think of the last time. There's only been a couple, but yeah, I haven't felt that passion, but it comes.
I still remember sitting in my basement, laughing my ever-loving ass off, trying not to knock the table over. Madsen losing his fucking mind because we recorded it right after we watched the movie at my house. Like,
oh, it was raw.
It was wild. It was wild.
I have a bookmark. I go back and listen to it about once every 3 months.
It's fucking great. It made one of the greatest cold opens of our show too. Like, if you haven't listened to our what was even that movie? The fucking Justice League. If you haven't listened to that one, God, you should go listen to that one because that's funny shit. Didn't have video. God, I wish we had video back then because, of course, we'd have never got shit done. This is the depth of this movie, is that there's really very little to talk about other than it's a John Cusack movie, so it fits the theme of the month. But, yeah, I would like – this is a movie that I would like a remake of. Ooh. And to have it be – and I'm rare that I say that, but – I would like that and have it be darker and less about the romantic late 80s romantic comedy where like teenage angst is at the forefront, but instead like some real life shit that's a great story. And I was thinking about Cameron Crowe because Casey loves this movie called Aloha that he did that I fucking hate. And it's the same fucking movie. Like, it's just in it only as adults. Like, that's it's pretty much if like these two's lives went on in life and then we came back and revisited after a weird divorce and then like that's what Aloha would be. It reminds me of that because I get done watching it with Casey and she goes, oh, it was so funny and weird. And I'm like, I feel like I just was in a fucking head-on collision. I'm so whiplashed. Like, I don't know what the fuck they're trying to show me with this movie. And that's what this one, it does do that to me. This is a movie, I'm like Alec, I put this on in the background and it's great white noise because I'll hear something and go, oh yeah, I want to watch this part. Like Jeremy Piven running out of the party and getting in John Cusack's face for no other reason than he's hammered, right? and cry, like half crying because he takes his keys. It's funny as shit. But then I'm done again for another 25 minutes or whatever, right? Until the next interesting scene. But for the most part, it is what it is. All right, should we rate it?
Let's do it.
God, might be our shortest episode ever. Alec, your movie, your start.
Oh, it's going to be very short. The best part of the movie for me is the very end where they time like the last 5 minutes to fade to black for the plane crash scenario. It was that gets a chuckle out of me. But otherwise, this movie is way overhyped. It is not as good as people will have you believe, as the pop culture has gotten a hold of this one strong. It is a very solid 2, though. I'll give this a 2 out of 5. If I can avoid it, I will never watch it again.
That's higher than I thought you'd give it. I'm going to give it a 2.5. I think it's a middle of the road movie. I agree. It's not what the hype would have it be, right? I also think that 80s movies like this, everybody was copying John Holmes, and or not John Holmes. What the fuck's his name?
Is it
John
JJ.
Holmes?
You can get there. No, but you can get there.
Why am I talking about a fucking 80s porn star right now? Like,
get there.
That's John Holmes. Why can I not think of his name?
Come on, JJ, get there.
Don't make me do this, Alec. It's making my brain hurt. What's his fucking name?
You can do it.
Anyway, yeah, like, fuck.
No, I know you can.
I really won't get there. Anyway, like Breakfast Club guy. Like, that's him. I know who I'm talking about. Home Alone, Breakfast Club, Pretty in Pink.
Come on.
Sweet 16, 16 Candles, rather. Like, I know who it is. And I keep wanting to say it's John, but it's not. Anyway, I'm going to let it go.
No, don't do that, JJ.
But everybody was trying to recreate what the magic that he found, right? And he was able to tell stories. But he tells great stories that are holistic and run from start to finish. This one's a fucking mess. It's all over the place. And he tried to just capture the 80s goofy magic and it just didn't work. So poo-poo Cameron Crowe for this one. But it does have some interesting moments, and I do enjoy it. It's one of my guilty pleasures if I have to. But John Cusack is one of my guilty pleasures, if I'm being completely honest, which I think I've mentioned in this. So 2.5 for me. I'll watch it again, but again, if it comes to John Cusack, it's certainly not my first choice. So if I've got to pick something else, it's going to be something different.
John Hughes. God damn it.
God damn it. John Hughes. Why was I
I'm going to give
it started with an H anyway.
I'm going to give this movie a 2. A little below average. The next movie we're going to review next week, I like certainly more, but it's in the same vein. I just think it's done better and weirder and funnier. This is like a poor man's Better Off Dead for me in a sense. Odd movie. I am happy to have watched it, I guess.
Say it again. We might believe
it's an experience. No, yeah.
It was. I don't think I'll ever watch this again, but I mean, I was entertained. Like there's worse you could do. I don't think anyone in my sphere will ever say, let's watch Say Anything. But if someone did, I wouldn't immediately shoot it down.
Fair enough. I will say one more thing before we wrap up this thing is that much like most 80s movies, God, did it have a great soundtrack, though.
That is true.
Because, listen, if you... I'm just telling you, some things lost in translation in the modern day, but if you can pump some Peter Gabriel outside of a girl's window in the late 80s, you were probably going to get laid. I'm just saying. It doesn't work that way anymore. You got to do like WAP, I guess. I don't know, but it's certainly not Peter Gabriel. We need to get back to good music being what drops. Never mind. I'll stop there. Alec, tell everybody where else they can find us, buddy.
Happy to. So if you stuck around this long, we appreciate you. Best place to find us is on Patreon. YouTube's where you can see our smiling faces, more or less. You know, the ones that aren't good enough for TV, but definitely not good enough for radio. And from there, Patreon is the best place to get involved in terms of content. We are putting votes out every single month for categories, and then within those categories, movies. October, John Cusack month. This is week 1. There's 4 more. 3 more. Small month. Good on that. So that's a place to get involved with the voting. Voting is absolutely free. So just follow us at What's Our Verdict reviews on Patreon to get involved in the content creation there. If you want to toss us a couple bucks, there is about 600 episodes of extra content that range from bloops to full-length episodes of movies nobody should watch. Speaking of Patreon, shout out to our patrons, Rich and Charles, for making us watch some of those movies that nobody should ever have to watch. So enjoy that. A little bit more money, and you can actually make us stuff that nobody should watch, and we'll watch it and review it. So have fun with that. With that, I will kick it back to the fearless leader. The Wazir of WAP, Jack Dunn's Baby. It's been a while since I used that one. JJ.
Much appreciated, Alec. Go check us out. It's a lot of fun. We're weird. We're dumb. But it's fun anyway. And with that, as always, we appreciate you tuning in. We'll catch you on the next one.
Wait!
Hasta la vista, baby.
Cinemagic out.
Whoa!